Hello and welcome back to not only my channel but the vlogs. As you know, I have not been on YouTube for a very long time, and I don't know whether any of you still watch me or wondered where I was or anything. Like, I know that some people follow me on Instagram, so they know where I've been and what I've been doing and everything. I'm just literally going to get up my my YouTube thing just literally to see when was the last time I posted. So the last time I posted says 2 years ago, but I'm pretty sure it was not 2 years ago, it was longer. It's been nearly 3 years ago since I have vlogged, because I haven't posted since September 2020. So we are now in August 2023. I had short blonde hair back then, that my hair was falling out and I had to revamp it all, and I was still, I believe, not working, or if I was working, I don't know, I don't think I was. I think I had still lost my job because of COVID and I was trying to find a new one. I'm back. I actually look completely different. I have literally grown all the blonde out of my hair. I did this ages ago, like after I stopped vlogging, I kind of just started growing my hair out basically, and I grew it, and I had like literally like a band from here downwards of blonde, and then this was all brown. My hair was falling out, it was just in such bad condition, it was getting really bad again, where I was just like really losing my hair. So I got rid of like the blonde, but I am now I have a balayage, but in this light for some reason you can't see it very well, but like I have got balayage, I've got my natural brown colour, and I am much healthier. I've literally just gone to get it cut, so it's been styled really lovely. I've just had it washed, cut and blow dried, and I love my hairdressers because she does such a nice job and she makes my hair look so nice. She also put a blonde like toner on it just to bring the blondes out a little bit more for my birthday, because tomorrow is my 30th birthday. I turn 30 tomorrow, which is absolute madness to think that I turn 30. It just feels really weird. Like, I feel fine, and then I have these days where I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to be 30. So luckily most people I know are already 30, so it's not that end of the world, but I still feel a little bit like I'm getting old, and I'm like, have I got my shit together? I don't know, basically. So yeah, I turn 30 tomorrow, and the reason I'm vlogging is because David has requested this. I am going on a surprise trip for my birthday. I don't know where I'm going or what we're doing. All I know is that in a minute I need to start packing my bag and get myself ready. I was going to do my nails, but now I'm thinking about it, and I don't think I have enough time to do my nails, as well as shower and everything and then pack, but we'll see. I'm literally just going to introduce this vlog basically and then go and get ready. I thought I'd give you an update of where I've been. I have tried countless times to get back into YouTube. I will be 100% honest with you. I have really tried. I have filmed what I eat in a day videos and then forgotten to finish them off. I have filmed weekly vlogs and just kept forgetting to film all these fun, exciting things. I went on holiday last year to France for 2 weeks and I barely filmed. I just really wasn't getting back into it, basically. I have filmed so many weekly vlogs from home and then just not edited them or forgotten about them and just everything. And then when I really decided to get back into it this year, I realised that my laptop doesn't work anymore, so I can't even edit videos anymore. So yes, it's my birthday. I'm going to treat myself soon to a new desktop computer, not a laptop, just a desktop, and get myself basically back into this properly. I don't know when I buy that will be soon, and I just need to buy my editing software and everything. The only annoying thing is I've lost every setting that I used for my editing software, unless I can find it and get my old computer to work. So it's going to be a learning curve again, because I had like settings to make things go faster and just everything. So hopefully it works, basically. Hopefully it all works and we're all fine. But yeah, I have tried countless times to get back, but I really want to get back in. I miss being on YouTube. I miss doing things like this. I've also need to get back into doing TikTok and everything, and I just really miss it, if I'm honest with you. The last year a lot has changed. I have changed jobs twice since I last spoke to you. So I got a job as a purchasing assistant, which is nothing that I've ever done before, and did it all, and then bought my own home, which I am in right now. I bought a place with David, so we did that, and then I left that job because I kind of stuck it out just so I could complete on this place, because I really just was sad there basically. And then I got a different purchasing job for a company that sells desserts in the supermarket, and that's all I will say. But it didn't work out. Basically, at the time I started in April, and then I left about September-ish, October time. And I actually ended up going on long-term sick for a while because I had such bad anxiety and stress that I thought I was going to have a little breakdown, if I'm honest with you. So I started looking for another job, and I'm now in that current job now, and I'm happy. But one of the reasons why I had so much stress and anxiety was because my dad had gone into hospital. He had literally gone to A&E, not feeling well, found out that he was going into septic shock because he had a burst abscess on his liver, had to have an operation that night. So then we got a phone call the next day to say that our dad was in a coma. To be fair, actually, we got a call the next day to say he was in the hospital in the ICU and he'd just come out of surgery, to then find out when we got up there that he was in a coma, an induced coma, and he was in an induced coma for about 2 to 3 weeks in the ICU. Loads of things going on, like his heart didn't work, his kidneys were failing, there were so many things. They actually gave him at one point a 20% chance of living, and then he woke up at the coma. They decided to wake him up, and then he had like a whole battle with other stuff and everything. He caught COVID, he caught so many diseases and infections in that place. It was unbelievable how that man survived all of that, as well as everything else. And then he moved to high dependency from the ICU, and then moved on, and about 2.5 months later he was released from the hospital, which came with a whole host of other stuff basically, which I won't go into detail because that's not my story to tell. But it was extremely stressful. It was a really stressful time, and the role I was doing as a purchasing assistant was also extremely stressful. It wasn't like a really easy, it was an easy job in the sense of like what it did, but the stuff I had to do could also be very stressful. So I left, and I'm now back to being a reception, and I love being a receptionist. It's fantastic. I have fun, I can have a laugh, I have my set hours. I know that I don't have to go on trips away in the week, and I can literally come home at 5 o'clock every day in my home, chill out and do what I need to do. And that's what I'm really happy with. I have an option to buy a holiday, I get bonuses, I get a Christmas voucher. It's fantastic basically. I'm very happy. But yeah, that's basically what's happened. I've bought a place, and when it's tidier, because I'm in the midst of packing right now, I will show you bits and bobs of it. I'm going to go pack now, and I will basically, when David tells me what we're doing tonight, because we're going somewhere from tonight, I will bring you along with me. So this is going to be a long one. I will pre-warn you, it's going to be a long one, this one, because I will be chatting along the way. But I will show you one thing I've done. Let me go do it. But I made us like some snack boxes. I don't know if you've seen them on like the internet. They're called a snackle box. They're basically meant to be like a fish tackle box, but the ones I've got from Hobbycraft, so they're just like a bead box basically, and you put snacks in it, and it's little sections. So I'll go show you that, and then I'm gonna go pack. So this is them. So this one is David's one, just purely because I can tell the difference because of certain things. But we have, like, if I just lay it flat, the lighting, I love my lighting in here, but it's not great for filming. You've got a hippo, because I love those. 2 different sections of, like, you know, the little mini cheese things. Some like boiled sweets like Werther's, some Colin caterpillars from Marx's, cereal, because who doesn't love dry cereal, Hello Panda, my favourite French sweets that we are buying more of because we're going to France soon. These are the Tony's chocolatiers, new sweets, some of David's favourite sweets, Lotus biscuits, a couple of Hotel Chocolat ones, some Skittles, peanuts, Malwams, again another French thing, absolutely love these, and then a pickup. And then for me, all similar, but I have Sour Patch watermelons because I love those, and then I have a fruit and like dried fruit and nut mix, different Hotel Chocolats, and then I have some dried like raisins and strawberries here. So that is what I've made, and they're just in like little click lock things. So that's for our journey, but I don't know what we're doing or where we're going or anything, but these are for our journey. So we have snacks, not that we're going to eat this all in one go, because we can still have it when we're away. It is the next day, and we are in a car park right now. We stayed overnight at a hotel last night. I didn't bother showing you, but David told me what my surprise was, and we are actually going to the Emma Bridge Water Factory. It's something I've wanted to do for years, and we're basically going here to decorate a cup or a plate. We go to the decorating studio, we get to have breakfast, and we're going on a factory tour. So I will bring you along with us basically, and I'm wearing a pair of earrings that David's mum and dad, which realistically David's mum bought from Pandora as my birthday present, and I've just literally got a sage green thing on and some white linen shorts. But yeah, we're gonna go now, and I've got my new Mulberry handbag that I bought myself from the sample sale a couple months ago before my sister left for Australia. But yeah, we're gonna go now and do all this, and I will show you around. It is the next day, and you must be wondering, because I started the vlog here, why are we home and not in Wales basically. We left, I didn't even tell you actually, I'm saying in Wales, you didn't even know that. We left Emma Bridgewater, which was fantastic. I highly recommend it if you love the pottery and like her pieces and everything. I highly recommend going and doing the tour, if I'm honest with you, because it was fantastic. We literally had breakfast there, which was really, really good. Then we did some painting. My only thing with the painting is they give you from 11 to do your painting, and it's an hour and a half. So if you got there ever so slightly later, it doesn't matter. That's the time frame you get, is an hour and a half from 11 o'clock. So if your breakfast took longer, it's like you kind of miss out basically. And I'd only say my only, not disappointment with it, my only critique of the place is the fact that from 12:30 you have an hour to kill till 1:30 when your tour starts, and at 1:30, like from that hour, there is not a lot there to do unless you go into the Emma Bridgewater cafe again and have a coffee, a tea, or I don't know, like lunch or cake, or you go into both shops. We went into both shops I think 2 or 3 times and looked at everything, because they're not massive shops. We had a look around at stuff, and they had like a decent amount of stock. So they have a shop called the Factory Shop, which has what they call as seconds. So it's when it's been inspected once, and then it has to go be inspected again because there might be imperfections in it, and they don't want to sell that at a full price. So they take it to, say, like outlets. There's a Emma, well, there used to be, I don't know if there still is, an Emma Bridgewater outlet in Bicester, and that's essentially where seconds go. Seconds go to their factory shop, and I'm assuming other like outlets, shops in and around like the UK. So anything that like is in an outlet place like Bicester, I would say will be an outlet shop. So the things you'll buy will be slightly discounted, but they will have slight imperfections which will be marked with a pencil around them to show you where that imperfection is. And as we went on the tour, we kind of realised what imperfections are. So they're not like the end of the world, if I'm honest with you. But we did that, and you kind of just went around that shop, and it had a few like old collections, which you can tell by the stamp on the back, the underneath of like each piece of pottery. So they had old collections which weren't discounted. They were priced still at full, even though they're old collections. And then they had the odd 1 or 2 things from an old collection, i.e. like Halloween or Christmas, that were discounted because obviously they're coming back round again this year, and they're going to be most probably the same designs. Did that, then went into the main gift shop, the main shop that you would see if you went to any Emma Bridgewater, what you'd buy online and stuff like that, and had a look at their bits. And then you still had time to kill. I'd say that was my only critique, is it would have been better to have been given more time to decorate, which I think personally would have been a good idea, considering that they don't do massive team like groups. It's like quite small groups. And also we painted a plate and a cup, and I think if we maybe had like more time, some other people might have gone, oh, do you know what, I might buy another item to paint, or I might do this, I might do that. We did a paint and a cup because we knew we wasn't going over the top and hand drawing anything, and I really wanted this idea of having like a breakfast cup and breakfast plate sort of thing. So we did that, but if I had more time I would have done a breakfast bowl maybe, or I don't know, like a pasta bowl. They had like so many different like things that you could have picked from. They had jugs and cups and bowls. You had £17 spent in the shop basically to pick a pottery item to paint, and then if it was an item you picked that was maybe £40, you had to then pay the difference. So they deducted the 17 off of that, so it meant that you could pick items that maybe you didn't want a cup, or maybe you didn't want a plate, you wanted a pasta bowl or a serving dish and whatever, that you can pick those, you just have to pay the difference, which was quite nice. So we ended up only paying an extra £32 on top of what David had paid basically, because we picked 2 of their 10-inch plates to paint as well, which I'm sure I got a clip of my finished pottery for you. I'm really happy with it. Don't know how it's going to look when it comes out glazed, but I'm really happy with the whole watermelon and strawberry theme for myself. So yeah, we did that, and then we did our factory tour, and the factory tour just shows you around the factory. The factory is still a working factory. They have a couple of off-site places for certain other things, but all the pottery gets made there, and it was really, really interesting to see it all, see how they make everything, how they recycle a lot of their pottery to be reused again, like their clay or anything that's broken, it gets broken back down and then it gets reused to kind of save wastage. That's a new thing they've started doing, that to save wastage. We also got to see the women that hand stamp. It's not hand painted like drawn on, it's hand stamped all the pieces of pottery. So there's a few pieces of pottery that are done with like a water transfer, and then everything else is hand stamped. So like the hearts and stars and the Christmas prints and all that, they are hand stamped by a woman or a man in the factory. They literally stamp each one. So a person there is stamping each one by hand, and someone by hand is filling a mould to make the Emma Bridgewater cups and stuff like that. And then there is 3 people, and at the time it was 3 women, that are the only people in the whole entire factory that actually make the stamps. So they have the stamps made there on hand. So they get given a piece of paper, they have to trace the design, then put it onto a piece of sponge, cut out the design, and then solder around the design to get the more depth and detail put into this design to then give to someone. So if they've got 20 people doing the same design, they have to make over 20 stamps, maybe more, just in case one breaks. And they were saying that when the Queen passed away, they obviously brought out a cup for like in her memory, and they literally were waiting bit by bit, so it took about 30 minutes to make each stamp. So they were making one set of stamps to give to one person, so they had to do that for 20 people basically, maybe even more, to make these cups. We saw exclusives that are going to Waitrose this year. We saw exclusive designs that we couldn't obviously take pictures of or film, that are going to come out maybe in later this year. We got to have a bit more backstory about the history of it all, and she showed us the decorations. They're preparing for Christmas right now, so we saw what's going to come out for Christmas this year in terms of designs and everything. So it's really interesting because you kind of get a look of what's coming out before other people do and that. And I obviously used to work in a job that like created products, but it was desserts, and it's really interesting to see the background of it all. But yeah, we've got a plate each and a cup each coming to David's work in the next 2 weeks once it's been glazed, and then we're going to go to like another pottery painting place maybe one day. But after my trip to Emma Bridgewater, David took a drive all the way to Wales, and we basically were staying at an Airbnb that David had picked, because this whole trip was a surprise. I didn't know what we were doing for my birthday. And we got into this Airbnb, and I can literally say that I've never stayed in somewhere that's been so dirty. We got there and the whole entire place was just covered in a thick layer of dust, and I'm talking not dust that like sits there for like a day or two or anything like that. I'm talking dust that's been there for days, maybe months. There was thick cobwebby dust on like all of the hanging decorations, just like such thick dust everywhere. There was mold on all of the like fake plants that she had in the place. There was hairs in the bed. It didn't look like the bedding being changed. It looked like winter bedding, and we're in the middle of the summer. There was hairs in the bed. There was hairs in the shower. It was just really dirty. So we're in the process at the moment talking to Airbnb so they can look at it, because we couldn't stay there because it was just so filthy. It just really didn't look like anyone had even cleaned it previous to maybe the last guest, or even longer than that. It was just so bad. So we took the drive home because we said, like, we don't want, I said this, I was like, I don't want to spend like another £200-300 on accommodation on top of what we've already spent, because that's just ridiculous. We're going away soon to France. So we come home, and today we are going to go to Wing Yip and H Mart, which is more Croydon way in London. We've been to a Wing Yip in Cricklewood last year for my birthday. So we're going to go there this year to the one in Croydon and go to the H Mart as well. I love an Asian supermarket, so we're going to go there, have a look, see what they've got, pick up some bits, and then maybe go for some dinner. And I think David said about maybe going to mini golf or something, because there's a mini golf place not too far of a drive from us, so we might go mini golf. So we've just gone to H Mart. So this for me and David was more than 2 hours drive away, but it's something I've wanted to go to. And I've picked up these turtle chips. We've got a whole like couple bags full of stuff. I've got 2 bags of these. These are churro flavoured. I've wanted to try these for ages. There is a Asian supermarket in Lakeside that sells the other flavours of this, but not these ones. And then we've picked up, both of us, a lychee jelly drink, purely for the fact of we love the Mogu Mogu ones, and I thought I'd try this one out because I really like lychee. And then David's got these like spicy onion rings, and then when we get home I'll show you everything else that we bought. But we're going to maybe go to Wing Yip now and then go home. Excuse my background, this is the kitchen. The kitchen is still being done, so yeah. The kitchen has basically been finished. It's just this wall we need to fill this little hole in, because that used to be a plug, because the old kitchen when we moved in was a whole U shape, and we've turned it into an L, because it was half the cupboards on one side were basically top units with half cut worktops basically, so it was really tight. So we've made it into an L, done floor to ceiling cupboards like this one, so they touch the ceiling, so it's a lot better. But this wall is just bare plaster, like plaster at the moment, so we need to do it basically. But I thought I'd show you everything that we bought from the shops before I put it all away. There's one thing I have put away, so I'll go get that, so give me 1 second. I've put this away basically because I knew we need to put this in the fridge, because obviously we don't live super close to these supermarkets, so this needed to go straight into the fridge when we got it. And that is kimchi, but this isn't in a jar, this is in like a pouch, because it was $1.99 I think, and I've never tried kimchi, neither has David, but I think David would like it because of the fact that he's I don't know, I just think he would. He likes spice and he likes all that sort of stuff, so I was like, let's just try it out and see if it's good. And it was only $1.99, so I'm gonna put that back in the fridge right now. It was half the size of a jar that they were selling, and I just thought, pick this up. I've got a bag here, so I'm just gonna go through stuff. So the first thing I got, oh my god, I was so excited when I saw these. I think we got 4, so I got like 2, we got 2 each, are the drink pouches. If you watch TikTok, you will know about these. I have loved like kind of like any 7-Eleven video on YouTube. I've loved them, and these have always been a thing, and now they've got really popular now on TikTok. So when I saw them, I was just like, yes, buying them. I think they were like 99p or £1.09. You could have picked up a cup of ice as well. I don't know if they were extra or the same price, but we knew we wasn't going to drink one right away, so we just left it so we can put these in the fridge to go cold, and then we're going to have them one day. So we've got, I think, 1 watermelon, which is David's. I got a pineapple one, and then David got a peach iced tea, And then I got this one, which is a different brand, I think. Well, no, it's the same. No, it's a different brand. And this is a double mango flavoured aid. But then it's got coconut on it. So I don't actually know if it's maybe coconut and mango or just mango. But I thought it'd be interesting to try out. So I got those. So for me and David, so they're going straight in the fridge when I finish this. The other thing that's going straight in the fridge is this lychee drink. I already had one of these in the car. And this is the one for David. We love the Mogo Mogo, which they did sell. But we can buy it in Costco's for a whole case for like 20 quid. So we just picked up one of these each to try. Not as good personally because Mogo Mogo is a little bit sweeter. And it also has chunkier like jelly in it. So it's still really good. This other thing that we bought, again, to try out. Never seen it before. We've been to Wing Yip in Cricklewood before. And we've obviously done Chinatown and stuff like that. And then there is an Asian like market in Lakeside now. So it's not in Lakeside, it's like near Lakeside, if you know where Lakeside is. That is obviously. But they're not as good, I will admit. Wing Yip is quite nice in Cricklewood. It actually, I feel like it was busier than the Wing Yip in Croydon today. It was actually a lot busier when we went, but we went on a Saturday, so that could have been one of the reasons. And also the bakery in the Cricklewood one is better than the bakery in the one in Croydon. It's just purely because it's different people own them. But the one in the bakery in the Cricklewood branch was amazing. And this one was just a bit okay. But when we was in H Mart, we bought these, which are called crispy fry bread mixes, and we've got a spicy, an original, and then a garlic. And this can cut up to 1 kg of meat, which realistically we won't use that much in one go. So we'll be able to try this out a few times. But yeah, we thought we'd give them a go. They're only like 70p each. So we thought we'd try that out. One of my favourite brands is this brand for curry paste. It's the Molpoil or Marploy. You can buy it basically in a lot of places. You can buy it off of Amazon, but I'll tell you now, Amazon is a rip-off compared to the Asian markets and everything like that. We first started buying this when we was buying the Massaman paste because we went to Thailand. We loved Massaman curry, and we bought this paste because we bought one in Tesco's which was terrible. So we started buying this, and we always have Massaman in our cupboards. And then we bought a Pangyang one, which was just a bit too spicy for me. But I bought a green Thai curry one this time. They were like $2.50 for this tub. It's ridiculous how cheap it is. It lasts us ages because you only need, I think, about 50 grams to do a curry. It's meant to be for 4, but we kind of did it for like 2. But yeah, I wanted this so I can make some Thai green curries to then freeze and save for like another day. And then we picked a like stir fry sauce up, which is the Lee Kum Kee brand, and I actually really like this brand. I've had a few things from them before, and this is just a spicy garlic. We said that we may use it as a stir fry, or we may use it as a marinade. Another thing that I've wanted to try for ages and keep forgetting to pick up is crispy chili oil. So we've picked this up basically. I've wanted to for ages. I love like spice on like things like eggs and stuff like that, and I've seen so many people use this to fry their eggs, and I just wanted to try it out, so we picked that up. That was like £2 something, I think. Whereas online it's a lot more money. Then because we went to H Mart and Wing Yip, I'm trying to remember what I bought from each one. But we didn't buy much from Wing Yip, if I'm honest, because we bought so much from H Mart. But the other things we bought from H Mart, I feel like you can't go to any Asian supermarket without picking up noodles, basically. So we got 2 of these, which are just like little small packets, which I love the little packets because they're just easy, like a quick lunch. And these are chili lime flavour. So we got 1 each, and they were 50p for those. And then we got their original flavour, which is like a garlic as well. So we got, again, 1 each. And then I picked this up. David didn't actually want this. And it's the, what are they called? I'm not even gonna try and say it. The rice cakes, because I know I'm gonna butcher it, because this is called yoppaki, which is, but it's meant to be, I think it's, I'm not even gonna try. I got the garlic flavour. I'm a garlic girl. I love garlic. I was like, yes, get me that. And it was only like $1.99, and I can't wait to try these out. And then we picked up some like baking things for me. We bought glutinous rice flour, and this is purely because there's a girl on TikTok that I follow, and I love her so much. She like just introduces so many new things to people, and this was one of them. It was basically a mochi like matcha tea cake that looked really good, and one of my friends that I met through work is actually gluten-free, so this means that she can actually have something. So I'm going to try and make it when I next see her, and it's just like desiccated coconut, matcha, coconut milk, and then like flour and like I think a few other ingredients. But I just thought I'd pick this up to try it out because it was really difficult to find glutinous rice flour on the internet. So we've got that, and then another like cooking thing, we've bought some panko breadcrumbs. Again, can buy these in the supermarket. They're an absolute rip-off, like absolute rip-off, whereas they're super duper cheap here. They were like £1 something. I found in Wing Yip an even bigger bag for £3, like an absolutely humongous bag. So we said like if we really enjoyed using them, we'll maybe buy them in bigger. Then we've got two other things from H Mart, and then 2 things from Wing It, because David also got a drink from Wing It, but drank it basically. First one is White Rabbit. I've seen this all over TikTok, again from certain people and stuff like that. It's just apparently a creamy candy. They did a matcha flavour, and oh my god, what was the other one? It was something, I think it was sesame, black sesame, but I thought I'd try the original and try that out and see what it's like. And I feel like a lot of people know this. If you go to a country that's going to have something completely different, for me in terms of sweets, I would want something brought back for me, because that is what I love the most, trying like new sweets or a local sweet from another country. And one of David's friends at work is always, when she makes something or they have a family party, she always brings something in for David purely for me, because she knows I love trying all like new things, and I just find it interesting. You're not going to get to go all around the world, sadly, so sometimes it's nice for people to bring stuff so you can try out different cuisines and stuff. Like the other day I had a cake that is traditional in Colombia from work, and it was fantastic, and it's just really nice. I showed you these in the car, turtle chips, and these are the churro flavour. They're amazing. Me and David finished the whole bag in the car because we hadn't eaten anything. Absolutely fantastic. Again, seeing these online, I wanted to try them, and now tried these. I'd actually like to try the other flavours that they do, because they do more savoury flavours. They are beautiful. I told David we're not getting into that bag just yet, because I know for a fact we'll eat it in one go. And then the last 2 things came from Wing Yip, purely because H Mart didn't have these, or if they did, I did not see them. Something I've seen a few times and I've thought about trying is this sweetened condensed coconut milk. I've heard people use it in like, not only on like desserts or stuff like that, into coffees, and I was saying to David about something else, and like literally it was in coffees, on desserts, and there was something else, and I now can't remember what it was that I've seen it. This is my problem, I get a brain fog. And the last thing is the best thing that I've ever spent money on, and that is QP mayo. If you've never had it and you're put off by the price tag of it, well, firstly, right now with the inflation of everything in the supermarkets, it's about the same for normal mayo. This is by far the best mayonnaise I've ever eaten. I absolutely love it. It's amazing. I've managed to get David into this. He was a bit skeptical when we first bought it because of how expensive it was, and we literally cannot get enough of this, that we have it on anything and everything basically. If there's an excuse to have mayonnaise for something, we have this, and it's absolutely hands down one of my favourite things ever. We ran out of it about a month ago, and we keep forgetting to buy it online. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, yes, you're nearly £6, but you're coming home with me. It lasts us ages as well. You literally, the packaging like design of this, you somehow managed to scrape near enough everything out of it as well. But it is the best. I highly recommend just buying it and trying it. I know it's a big bottle, but trust me, it literally disappears really quickly. We have to kind of like limit ourselves a little bit when we use it, because we literally go through it so quickly. But that is everything that we bought. We spent about 40-ish pounds on everything, considering that we had the stuff in the car as well, and then David also had a drink, and then we went to the bakery in Wingyip and bought these like curry buns, but they weren't the curry buns that we usually have. These ones were like deep fried donuts with curry inside them, and the ones that we usually have are like a brioche bun with curry inside them. So yeah, they were different. I still love the ones that I always get, but yeah, that is everything. We are planning on going to like Chinatown in a couple of weeks, because I really want to go, and one of my friends now works not far from there, so we said we might go there, then pop in and see them while they're at work if they're working. And I plan on buying as many curry buns as possible, if I'm honest with you. But yeah, I'm going to put all this away now in our cupboard. It is Saturday. I've got a bottle of water right here, and I'm taking one of these water packet things. Really weird, right? So I was watching back an old vlog of mine from during lockdown, where I used to use some of these. Like, I think the ones I used to use are the Jolly Rancher ones. 1 second. And all of a sudden this year, these have blown up on TikTok. I'd say like the last 3-4 months. For people adding them to like their Stanley cups, and adding them to like water with ice and some form of like flavoured syrup basically. And I bought some because I used to drink these years ago. They're a great way to just throw in with some water and some ice in a cup, or like this in a freezing cold water bottle, just to get something other than water in, like a bit of flavour basically. This one is the Skittles Tropical Punch one, but it's really weird because I actually discussed these back in an old video. I'll have to link it down below, and like the timestamp where I spoke about them, and I actually said, do you think these are classed as water still, or would you class it as something else? And so many of you said you would still class it as water. But now there's this big debate on TikTok about these not being water because it's a flavouring, and then you're adding syrup. I obviously haven't added syrup to this, it's just the packet. But it's just so funny that 3 years ago, Lucy 3 years ago, just knew that that was going to be a thing, and she started drinking them. It was because of a protein website I follow, like I still use now, brings in stuff from America. They had them, but I actually really like them just for like an on-the-go drink. I sometimes add an electrolyte drink to them as well, or my collagen powder if I want, say, like something flavouring. But it's just kind of nice to curb like a sweet craving with just a bit of water and essentially powdered squash, but it's not like squash flavours, it's like more of like a fun flavour. So I've got one of those right now. I've been terrible. It's the first vlog back, and I have somehow managed to not finish it. It's the week after I'm about to start the new weekly vlog, which I've also, just a sneak peek, starting on a Friday. These are more like weekend vlogs at the moment, but I'm getting into it again, so please bear with me. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the first weekly vlog in 3 years. That is mad. It's the first video in 3 years as well, but the first weekly vlog in 3 years. Some things have changed since being on YouTube. My whole brand has changed in sense of like the colouring. So if you remember like my old intros and thumbnails and everything like that, you will see that it has changed, and I'm hoping that you all enjoy it. Please do let me know. Did you like the new intro? Do you like the new outro when you see it in a minute? Do you like the new banner? Do you like the new thumbnails? Do let me know. I played around with it for ages. I wasn't actually planning on doing anything, and then I thought about it and I was like, I feel like coming back needs to be better than just one video. I feel like I need to really change a lot more. So I hope you've enjoyed this vlog. I know it's been a very short one in terms of like days. I don't think it's been short in terms of me speaking, if I'm honest with you, but I hope you enjoy it anyway. I hope you're glad I'm back, hopefully. I am still on Instagram. I don't use Twitter anymore really, unless I need to contact like a business or something, so there's no point following me on there, if I'm honest. Still on Instagram. I've got 2 Instagrams, which I'll leave linked down below, and I also use TikTok from time to time, which I'm going to try and get back into. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're glad I'm back, and I look forward to seeing you more often, and I have plenty of ideas to come for the rest of the year. Bye.